This is Eagle Out, and today we're gonna try to be a little bit more positive on a Tuesday after we had time to sleep on it. But Cam Jurgens he did call out the coaching staff. Also, AJ Brown take accountability. Lastly, Lane Johnson. Yes, Lane Johnson might be back, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. I might be capping a little bit, saying I'm gonna be a little bit more positive, but we gotta talk about Jake Elliott, man. We have to talk about him because he's been terrible. The numbers saying he's been terrible, but there is a little positive. So the long snapper we've been having and using, he sucks. Let's be honest. The long snapper sucks. That's just one of the things we don't pay attention to. If you look at some of the snaps he took, and look at, Jake Elliott mates with the previous long snapper, it was just a lot better. Now, Jake Elliott, to me, he been bad since last year. We override it or whatever the word is because we won the Super Bowl last year. And he did come up clutch in the Super Bowl and the playoffs. But Jake Elliott has been terrible for the past 2 years. It's time to bring in competition. But the Eagles decide to waive the long snapper. Maybe he's the problem. Statistically, it's saying the long snapper is the problem. So hopefully that fits the misses because now those missed field goals, it didn't really matter last year. Again, we won the Super Bowl. We won a lot of games. But this year it's starting to hunt us, right? So imagine Jake Elliott, make the field goals or whatever do he was supposed to do against the Chargers. Do we win the game? It was just so many missed opportunities in that game. But Jake Elliott got to make those field goals, man. Those are makeable field goals. I'm watching, the Cowboys kicker kicking 60-yarders like it's nothing. And that guy could barely kick a 50-yarder. So something got to happen. Now, if the long snapper thing don't work, Jake Elliott, your ass is gone next year. You gotta be, or bring in some type of competition. I don't get the super loyalty to Jake Elliott. I don't. The Eagles are just extremely loyal to him, but again, hopefully this long snapper thing works. But before we get into the main topics, let's hear a word from my sponsor. Underdogs just drop prediction markets, spreads, totals, and team outcomes. And the best part is you could combine them with player picks for bigger multipliers. Sign up today with code EAGLEAL and make a $5 fantasy entry to get $100 in fantasy bonus entries. Prediction markets are live now in 25 states, including Texas, California, and Florida. And Underdog is available in over 40 states with player picks and draft games. Prediction markets, player picks, all on Underdog. All right, so let's stick on that topic a little bit, like accountability, things that need to be fixed, is because all we kept hearing is the coaching staff cleaned this up. We got some new wrinkles, which I seen. I can't front, I can't lie. There were some new wrinkles, there were some new plays, there were some things that helped Saquon Barkley out. That wasn't a lie. But Cam Jurgens basically called them out. I don't want to hear the bullshit later in the week, whereas though he tried to clean up these comments. Let me just play the clip.
Down to week 15, how do you make those adjustments or clean up the penalties, work on communication, whatever it may be?
I think we got to be clean during the week. In practice, walk through, everything's got to be clean, and that's going to lead to being cleaner during the game. And I don't think we're clean enough during the week.
How does Jalen show accountability during the week or during games?
Just talking to us on the sideline. It's a team game. Everybody's got to have everybody's back. I can't worry about everybody else. I got to worry about what we're doing as an O-line and how we can be better, and that's what we got to go forward.
Do you appreciate it though when the quarterback is that accountable?
Yeah, but it's same thing for us. The O-line's got to be accountable. We got to make things work.
As you see, right, he seemed somewhat called them out, not going through practice really well, whatever. After all we was hearing that, they was playing clean, the vibes is right, this, that, and the third. But Cam Jurgens is telling a different story. So that's a little disheartening. But the positive, now let's get into the positive, it's AJ Brown. Actually, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. You got Jalen Hurts taking accountability. Like, look, I made all those mistakes, and still we had a chance to win, and I still made a mistake. Got to be better. I'm basically summing up what he's saying. I put the graphic, and you can read the actual quotes. But AJ Brown actually took up for Jalen Hurts and took accountability himself because AJ Brown, it's one of those weird things with his game because I'm like, without AJ Brown, we possibly would have got blown out. But with those AJ Brown drops, we lost the game too. So it's like he played a big part of us, getting into overtime, but he played the big part of us losing too. This is what he had to say to all that.
I'm more than capable to make that kick. And that last one in the end zone, he just made a play at the right time, man. And that one hurt the most, because we've been setting things up all game. And he made a play, man. That one hurt me. I'm more than capable of making those plays. Jalen trusts me in any situation. I made some plays, but I wasn't great when it mattered.
On the one over the middle, there was a guy bearing down on you. Did you sense that?
Yeah, it was just gonna be another tough one. I'm more than capable to make that grab for him. Like Jalen, he stepped up in the pocket. He under pressure. So like I said, I'm more than capable of making that one for him, man. That one hurt, but.
Is this as bad as you felt after a loss this year, personally?
Yeah, because I pride myself making them tough catches. Even in the one overtime, I'm running out of bounds, and I'm trying to get the one hand on it. I'm more than capable of making all those catches. I pride myself on that. But back to the drawing board.
Hey, sports is mental as much as it is physical, and to play good ball, you have to be confident. Where does this team draw its confidence from in the middle of a stretch like this?
From each other. Want to work every single day. Like, that was a tough game, games like this happen, come about, but the confidence and the trust we come together, and that's what matters. And that starts in the week. That starts each and every day. We looking at the film and correcting and trying to get better.
Hey, did some of those balls you were talking about?
I like it, and that's what gives me hope. That gives me hope because right now it's so weird. We were winning, right? Beginning of the year, all the fans happy, but the locker room seemed so divided after the games, and I was calling that out. And a lot of you guys didn't like that. I'm like, yo, why AJ Brown seemed upset after a win, or Devontae seemed upset after a win, or Jalen seemed like a little off in the coaching staff. But now that we're losing, it's the opposite. The fans are divided. People want Jalen Hurts bench. People want Kevin Patullo fired. We need some changes on the O-line. We just freaking out as fans. But the players, it's weird. The more they lose, it seems like they coming together. You got Jalen and AJ smiling together, and Saquon, like the sideline vibes are getting better. It's like, how can this be happening? We on a 3-game losing streak. What are y'all talking about? Y'all should be freaking out like us, but this gives me hope that the team is coming together. You seen the interview. If you got to watch the whole thing of AJ Brown, like he was frustrated, like he was beating himself up about that. All of them, even Jalen Hurts. This probably after a loss. This probably one of the better player conference. I usually don't like watching them because they give frivolous answers, just things to appease the media and the fans. But I thought this was raw as possible. Besides Nate Sirianni, but Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, I thought it was phenomenal watching them talk because I thought they kept it real. But Lane Johnson, before the game, he gave us a little tweet with the eye emojis. So it seemed like Lane Johnson is coming back very, 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 very soon. Might be back against the Raiders. We will see. Now, he's the big ace. We don't win games without Lane Johnson. We get over here and there, but when Lane Johnson had one of these type of years, it's never good. I think even 2023, he was hurt a lot. If I'm not mistaken, he had some weird ankle injury. And it's weird that this year, 2 years later, he's hurt a lot. He collapsing and we don't look as good. Lane Johnson, he's a key part of this offense. Just a right tackle, not a skill position guy. That right tackle equates a lot of wins to the Philadelphia Eagles. So we definitely need him back. Can't wait for him to be back. I love Fred Johnson as a backup. I actually like when he played backup guard more, and I like him on the left side more than the right side, if I'm being honest about Fred Johnson. But it's gonna be good to have Lane Johnson back. And I'm serious, man. If Lane Johnson come back and we start winning, we start looking a lot better, you have to draft his replacement, because there's no way that one guy should have this big effect on the team if he's out, because it's football. And we talking about a guy, he's not 25, 24, 23. We talking about a guy, in his mid 30s who's going to retire soon, that we need to elevate our team. Like, no, you got to find this replacement, and somebody that can play. It's hard, but somebody that could play close to his level, or somebody could train up for another year or so. They could sub in when Lane Johnson is out and play to a high standard. You got to, man. You got to take that right tackle position serious, man. I'm telling you, watch what's going to happen. Lane Johnson's going to come back, and we're going to forget about all these problems, and then somebody going to randomly bring it up. Like, hold on, wait. Lane Johnson back, this team look a lot better. So, like, I thought even when Saquon Barkley was running there, I'm like, just forget about that right side, right? Just run it to the left. Have Fred and Tyler Steinpool to that left side, and great things were happening on that left side. Just leave that right side alone without Lane Johnson. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. I tried to keep it positive as possible, but we had to talk about Jake Elliott. We had to talk about what Cam Jurgens had to say. It was very disheartening, but we'll get through it. And this is Eagle Owl. I'm out.